Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and a warm welcome to everyone here at St. Thomas Anglican Church, and to those joining us online. Excuse me if I read, guys, and apologies for starting late. I lost the bet, so I get to stand here. My name is Tim Dansberg, and I have the privilege of convening tonight's meeting. With me are my fellow initiators, Ajit Chirulal, Bradley Stubby. Where's Lisa? Lisa Thompson, supported by Professor J.R. Reddy, Kieran Maharaj and Michael Sand. This is a special open public meeting of the proposed Musgrave Essenwood Urban Improvement Precinct, and it is being recorded and streamed live on YouTube for those unable to join us in person. To those online, welcome, and please use the chat to send through your questions. We will read them to you now, question and answer session later. Just want to welcome the officials. From Etikweni Municipality, we welcome Mr. Zwaki Mpanza. Thank you for joining us tonight. He's from the Special Rating Areas Unit. Ward councillors, we also acknowledge the presence of the representatives from SAP Station Commander, Korea CPF, security companies, Pigeon Valley UIP, Glenwood UIP, and Umhlanga UIP. Musgrave Centre, Overport City, Lifestyle Centre, the Musgrave Mosque, MLPA, and the St. Thomas Anglican Church for hosting us. Thank you. Each of you plays an important role in the broader Musgrave and Essenwood community. It's encouraging to see both public and private partners represented here tonight, all working together for one shared goal, a Musgrave and Essenwood as safe, clean and green. You're going to hear that word a lot tonight, safe, clean and green, our community emotion. But before we begin, please note the house rules for this evening. Please switch mobile phones to silent. Questions will be taken after the presentation and during the question and answer session. Let's respect each speaker and allow one person to speak at a time. This meeting is about constructive participation in progress. We are here to work together. In accordance with good governance, please note that the steering committee members may hold proxies, provided these are declared transparently and recorded before the meeting begins. All proxies received have been verified at the registration desk. Our agenda is straightforward. We will explain what a UIP is, what it matters to Musgrave and Essenwood, how it is funded, and how each of us can play a role in making it happen. So take this ride with us through the heart of Musgrave and Essenwood. Every street tells our story, and tonight we begin the next chapter together.
Welcome to Musgrave Essenwood, a place of heritage and heart, where every street tells a story, and every sunrise reminds us why we call it home.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar.
Musgrave Essenwood is ready for its next chapter. Together we can keep it safe, clean and green. Because this is more than a neighborhood. It's a community motion. Safe, clean and green. What is the purpose of this meeting? To seek community support for establishing the Musgrave Essenwood UIP, to lay the foundation for a non-profit company to manage it, present a preliminary business plan, to conduct a ballot, and to elect a steering committee to drive the process, turning local action into lasting structure. That's the goal. What is a UIP? A UIP is a partnership between property owners and the city, a collective effort to enhance our shared environment. It's not a replacement for municipal services. It adds a layer of care, consistency, and accountability. Funds are collected through municipal billing by local property owners. As a community, to raise and restore. Section 22 of the Municipal Property Rates Act of 2004 permits governs special rating areas where property owners pay a small additional levy for supplementary services. In Essenwood, this is enabled by the Property Rates Bylaw to ensure that every rent collected is ring-fenced, audited, and spent only in the UIP area. Across Durban, UIP services include security patrols, CCTV coordination, cleaning teams, and greening projects. These are the visible changes that restore pride and confidence in an area. Across Durban and the North Coast, things like Umhlanga, Benito, Florida Road and Denver are already proving the model works. Safer, cleaner, and stronger communities. Musgrave Essenwood now stands in the middle of the success story, ready to join, to build, and to lead. With the potential to generate over 7 million a year, our precinct is poised to make a real difference. Musgrave Essenwood, our community in motion, safe, clean and green. Formally, UIP is not a quick dash, it's a structured plan. We began this journey in May 2025, and tonight marks the completion of Phase 1, this public open meeting. Phase 2 starts now, community engagement. Over the next several months, we'll be gathering signatures, refining our business plan, and responding to feedback from residents and businesses. Our realistic goal is to reach the required support by mid-2026. Once the application is approved by the Disciplinary Council, the UIP will begin operations by July 2026. It's like climbing Mount Kilimanjaro. You don't reach the summit in one push. It takes stages, base camps, acclimatization, teamwork, and determination. But every step counts, and no one reaches the top alone. With cooperation and persistence, we'll get there together, slowly, steadily, and successfully. Our proposed area is bounded by Pickenmacargo Road, King Zulu Road, Problematiza Road, and Springfield Road. Some residents outside these borders have asked to join. Their interest will be considered as we grow. A recent survey showed the community's top 3 concerns: vagrancy, maintenance, and safety. These priorities shape our initial plan, because real change starts by listening. At the end of this presentation, Kieran from city members will update us with the online live survey results. Our vision for Musgrave Essenwood: a safe, clean, and attractive precinct for living and investment. Our values: accountability, service, collaboration, transparency, equity, and justice. When people ask, what do I get for my levy? The answer isn't just about services. It's about how I feel. You'll feel safer, visible patrols, smarter CCTV, and quicker response and peace of mind, knowing someone is watching over our streets day and night. You'll feel prouder, clean verges, swift pavements, and careful corners restore pride in where we live, and remind us we all belong here. You'll feel calm. When litter is gone, lights are working, and public spaces are cared for. Our suburb feels ordered, dependable, alive. You'll feel connected. Regular updates, direct contact through the City Member SA app, and clear communication keep you part of the process, not outside it. And you'll feel hopeful, because for the first time in a long time, we'll see visible progress, led by the people who live right here. That's what your leaving delivers. A precinct that's safe, clean and green. A community in motion. From the previous slide, you've seen what you'll get for your levy. Now let's look at what it costs. For residents, the proposed levy is 5% of your existing municipal rates. For business properties, it's 10%. Every rent elected is ring-fenced and spent only with the Musgrave on the safety, cleanliness and maintenance that we most value. At this preliminary stage, our projected highway expenditure is 10 million, mainly towards security, cleaning and greening. However, we need to target an annual revenue of 12 million, subject to the approval by the grant. Budgets will be refined through further surveys and community feedback.
Looking at most of my life, I have watched customers review sparkle and property value at aware. I have to do something. Working on a front line, the municipality is clear they are in need of help. Resources are to be done. The UIP is an incredible, much-needed initiative that's showing us a way forward. Seeing different highlights can't turn into overgrown jungle, and the feeling that we can't walk their feet after dark into 5 a.m. I want my kids, my neighbour, and myself to feel proud of who we are today. To walk down the sea cycle, breathe fresh air, and know our home will protect them. That is why I put forward turn that fear into action and bring back the neighborhood we love. We have already started to see that housing trees, quickly take on and grow in the community. My message is simple. Train starts with one side, and when we all stick together, we become unstoppable. Keep showing up to share what you love about the take, and trust that every small effort adds up. We all pitch in, whether it's picking up fragrance, supporting a broken life, or just spreading positivity. We will see our street move again. Never keep on a means word and make the neighborhood the safe we have and we want to serve. Come and means word and make the neighborhood the safe we have and we want to serve.
So for those who didn't know Lisa, that's Lisa. So before we close the formal presentation, we would like to take a few questions from the floor and from those joining us online. Got those online? Okay. Please raise your hand if you would like to ask a question. And one of our team members will bring you the mic. Yeah.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for that presentation. My name is Harshvara. I just want to reiterate the borders again because it just flashed by very quickly, and to say that I've spoken to someone who was setting up Manor Gardens, and the impression I got from the presentation was that it was actively working, and I was told to the contrary, that it's taken 3 years and it's still not up and running.
You're talking about Manor Gardens. Is anyone here who can speak about Manor Gardens? Yes?
I'm from the Manor Gardens Ratepayers Association. We work quite closely with the Manor Gardens UIP. 3 years ago, we started the process. And due to deadlines given to us, we missed the initial stage when you needed 67% of residents signing up and 50% of businesses plus one. by, I think it was 60 or 70 votes. So it took a bit of time to get the process going again. The process is done. The UIP is formed. Payments have come off the residents' accounts. This is where you have to ask the city questions, because the UIP has not received any money from the city as yet. So the UIP has got a manager, they've got an admin person, but at present moment, we have not received any funds from the city as yet. And that is due to a legal agreement and a finance agreement that needs to be signed. From the Ratepayers Association, I have written to the city manager, as well as the Speaker's office, as well as the EXCO, to ask them what is going on. Because we've got salaries we've got to pay, and right now the ratepayers is contributing towards the UIP to pay those salaries. So maybe somebody from the city can get feedback on that. But the UIP, everything is ready to go, but they could not make any, how can I say, they couldn't allocate the security service providers or the cleaning and greening contracts due to them not having any funds in their account. So we expect it to be in the next 2 weeks to 4 weeks, but we're still waiting for feedback from the city. But as I say, I'm not on the UIP, I'm from the Ratepayers Association. So we're two separate organizations.
Janus, what month are you?
I'm in October now.
Can see it from today. I'm saying, when was your UIP formed? How many months ago?
Was officially the 1st of July was our starting date, and we knew there was going to be a delay. And I think they said the 1st of October would be the official starting date. At present moment, I think it's 28 days late. But as I said, we're just waiting for feedback from the city.
Okay, so there's a 3 months delay, right? Okay, so you did month 4. Fair question. So Katie, you want to answer that?
No, yes. Evening, everyone. I'm Zohar.
Evening everyone, I'm Zohar Kwanzaa from Essenwood, project manager there, but I'm coming in for the SRA meeting. I think the gentleman there, I think it's something that can be picked up. You guys have gone so far as to open, but there are processes in terms of getting the money out of there. If you guys, for example, like the business plan, you guys have put it, and then the budget.
Everything is approved.
Okay, so what I'll do on my side, I'll pick up the system whom I'm presenting here. And I will ask that we will give you guys a formal written response. Yeah, I think that's what I can say. Thank you.
Hi, can you hear me? If I could just add to this process, I think we had a slide earlier on that clearly showed that the process to get to, once you're formed, is a long period of time. And once you're formed, it's okay, we need a strong team so that we can ensure that the process runs from there onwards. You must remember that there's a lot of volunteers and there's a lot of people who try and assist, but on a part-time basis. So we're not a proper corporate yet. What you've heard right now is probably an example of exactly what the bureaucracy does to us. Okay? We started this process in May. We've got so far. We've got until the end of November to actually submit our final proposal. If we miss the November deadline, we have to wait a whole year before we can do it again. So this process does take a long time. It might sound daunting, but you know what? We can get there. You mentioned something about Kilimanjaro. I think we need the whole team here to help us achieve our target. Any other questions? Sorry.
Good evening, Shire County. Can we please get a proper rundown of the timetable for forming the UIP? Because we're already end of October. You want 67% signatures from residents and 50 plus 1 signature by the mayor of businesses. But can you run through the process? We all can't see this from where we're sitting.
Okay, let me try and explain the process. we are already late in terms of having this open meeting. We should have had this open meeting maybe a month ago so that it would give us time to actually do the homework or fill in the paperwork like as is required from the city. We have basically 2 weeks within which to get 67% of the residents for the demarcated area and 50% of businesses. So I've got some numbers in my head. It's something like 1,200 plus minus residents that have to sign up this form, this asset form. Can we do it between now and the end of November or maybe the middle of November? It's a tall order. We've got a plan. We'll discuss it in a short while, but we need your assistance. Nothing can be done with just 4 people sitting down here and a few people coming to help us. I think we're going to appeal to you to help us get to that stage. As far as businesses are concerned, there's something like 285 in terms of the data sheet that was given to us. Of the 285, we probably have to get to about 120 because a lot of businesses own dual properties. So we can limit the number of people that we have to get to in order to get to your 50% plus. So we are targeting to get to 50% plus between now and the middle of November, but we need your assistance. I'm not quite sure if I've answered your question.
What happens after that? So you get the signatures, then what happens after that to finish and start the UIP?
Okay, so the process from our point of view is that we, between now and the end of November, we will put this whole pack together. So far, we've seen down to probably about 86 pages of the pack. We need to submit this to the City of Durban, the Esekwini Council. They will take between the end of November and probably the middle of March to go through all the paperwork that we have provided to them. For example, the number of people who have objected, number of people who have said, yeah, go ahead with it, number of any other concerns that exist in this plan. And by the middle or the latter part of March or April, they will inform us that, yes, you're now good to go, and we need to finalize some little points, but officially, around about the middle of May, they would have a meeting at the City Council to say you are officially approved. From then, they would instruct their admin department to start deducting the levies from all the residents and all the businesses. The 1st of July is when the levies will start being collected. By the time the city collects the levies, it will be the end of the month, also probably 60 days later. After that point, they will give us 90 or 80 to 90% of the levies that they have collected into our bank account. And from there, we can actually start expanding. So we can't contract with contractors until such time we have the money in our account. You can see exactly what happened here. Contractors, then there'll be a few. Security, the cleaning contractors, they're the 3 big ones. They would have to wait until the middle or latter part of September in order to get payment. So that's the process.
Hi everyone, my name's Joanne, and I've lived in the area for about 14 years now. And I have to say, I'm so excited about this initiative because having been involved with the NRPA, just walking down streets and realizing how bad of an area the area is actually looking at the moment. And I have to say, thank you to Lisa. There isn't a day I don't see you on the road. It's amazing. So thank you, Lisa. But my question is, why do these levies have to be paid to Esekwini? Could it not go into a trust account and then paid into a lawyer's account? And then my second question is, I know Esekwini will still be responsible for the normal services that they provide to us, but what now is going to be the link between our councillor and the UIP?
So as far as the collections are concerned, It's law, it's a process, I mean, it's gazetted. There's only one way in which we can do it. Exactly how you pay your rates, that's exactly how you pay in special areas. There is a system. If we just think about it, we have maybe 2,000 people or 2,000 properties on which we're going to be collecting this levy. We would never be able to manage it. We would need to have such a team, you know. It's a task that we don't want to get involved in. If you look at it this way, the 2,000 people who are paying the rates right now will pay to the city. The city pays us one amount, one check at the end of each month. It's much more manageable and it's controlled. You can see exactly who's paying, exactly who's not paying, who's delinquent or not paying for whatever reason. I think it's a mammoth task, and in any case, it's a legal battle. There's a process, there's like 10 or 20.
I am Kate. Question on the 67,
The answer to the second question, the link between the councillor. And so the municipality will be providing the second question that was asked.
So can you repeat the second part of the question? I'm not...
Sorry, I was just, the person who asked the question really should be asking. The second question that she asked was, the municipality will be responsible for services in parallel to what the UIP does. How does the councillor fit in? So I think that's a really important question.
Okay. I'm not so sure that the councillor will fit into the UIP in terms of any management structure. However, the UIP is a separate body. It's formed. We will have an NPC, a non-profit company, and we will engage with all the stakeholders. So one of the stakeholders will be the community, the other would be the municipality, the third would be the councillors, because the municipality should provide all the services. The UIP will provide the supplementary services. We don't want to replace what municipalities do, because I think it defeats the purpose of you paying your rates. So the councillor will have input in terms of what are we doing or what are we not doing, because some people will be concerned that the UIP have been formed to do A, B, C, and D. They haven't done A, B, C, and D. They can come back and say, we've got problems. We're hearing from the ground that you're not performing. Yes, we will attend to it at that point in time.
Hi, sorry about that. My name is Kate. I just wanted to ask a question regarding the 67%. Is it 67% of owners, or is it 67% of full title properties? How are sectional title properties dealt with in that? Because I think it can have a big impact on the recruitment strategy, around how we get support for this thing. Thanks.
Okay, so there's residents and then there's businesses. Under residents, there's two parts. One, a single unit holder, a person who owns a single property. And two, you'll have sectional title or share blocks. So if I take the single title owner, that's one earth or one property. You need one vote. As far as sectional title is concerned, you may have one unit under the notary. There's 22 people living in there. The 22 people will be asked to vote whether they would support this UIP or not. If we got more than 50% in that sectional title block saying, yes, we're happy with it, the chairman or the trustee can sign the form for the one vote that we require for a sectional title property. Have I explained that? Okay?
Good evening, sir. Thank you for the opportunity. My name is Vincent. I'm relatively new to the area. 3 years in Cairo. I'm an architect. I've been dealing with the city of Essenwood for the past 12 years. I want to know, what is your relationship with the city? Who is the spokesperson that goes to the city? And what are the expectations that we have from that person? and the communications we have with the city, because that can be a black hole.
Okay, so the UIP has 4 members that officially signed the confidentiality agreement with the city. The one representative, which is the head of the, they call it the HED, I think, HED, Head of Economic Development. That person, her name is Ntomi. She's responsible for all our queries or whatever we have to do if we are unsure about what steps needs to be done. She's our go-to person. We, myself in particular, I've been liaising with her on a regular basis. So we've got to this stage ensuring that we have ticked the box all the way. So as far as I'm concerned, as of yesterday or day before yesterday, or in fact last week on Friday, we were okay with the process that we were following. Good.
Hi, my name is Kerry. And just in response to your the query about how many votes per property, etc., my understanding is that on a sectional title property, each section holder pays their own rates. It's not a group rated thing from the building itself, so to speak. And would that not then make it one vote per sectional title holder?
No, so there have been some changes in the process in the past. Okay, before we had to get the vote of every single ratepayer. The latest amendment we've seen, and we've confirmed that with Tony, we've confirmed that with our discussions with Schlange UIP, and they've been heavily involved. They've been doing it for the past 15 years, Frank, 15 years or so, and they have concurred that you just need one vote from one sectional title block. However, if you have 20, 30, 40, or 50 people in that, you have to have a special resolution or a round resolution approving that all the members are in agreement to proceed with the UIP. Okay?
So, sorry, for argument's sake, like minority, if there's 22 owners, if all 22 vote for it, will only one vote be counted?
Correct.
Sure.
So if I can just expand a little bit more, the database that we've got 503 sectional title and share blocks in this group here, in this precinct, okay? Of the 500 and whatever, there's probably 2,000 or 3,000 residents. We don't need the 2,000 or 3,000, we just need the 5,000, the 503, one vote per block. No, it actually benefits us because we need to come and get the vote from each and every single unit owner. It's almost impossible task. Question?
Hi guys, my name is Hassan Gloria. CAD. It's not really a question. I'm chairman of the CPF and director of radio security. I live here, maybe I should know radio security. I just want to say that we've been looking for answers for our issues over the past few years. And this UIP has, several people have tried to get this kicked off the ground over the past 5 years. And this is the furthest that it's actually come. And there is no better way of us getting a safe area with regards to security, the vagrants, the cleaning. Because what's currently happening is if you take a street and you've got 20 houses on the street, you might have 5 people that want to contribute towards security, for example. And the costing obviously is spread between 5 people. If everyone has to pay 5%, I mean, guys, it's 5% of our rates. Right? I mean, that's a burger at Smoky Joe's, right? That's maybe even less. Maybe it's not special. So I think this is working. If you go to, they put all the UIPs up. I mean, you go to Shara, you go to Belito, you go to Glenwood, Angelo, Pigeon Valley, you go to Florida Road UIP, and we are in the middle of the Milo section. We've got Florida Road, we've got the Beach Front and CBD that have got UIPs as well. And they're all pushing their variants and their problems to us. So we're here in the middle, and we're going to have people complaining every day in all the groups about the variants of the robot. Then you got guys giving out $100 to them and charge to them. They're not going anywhere. So look, this is the only solution. And if we don't get on board with this now, it's a tedious process, right? I have sat with the guys. It's a tedious process, but if we don't do it, we're going to slack. It's going to take us a year to get kicked off, right? It's either we're going to not get behind it now, wait another year, probably get another 200 pounds in the area, right? Or billions, or whatever you call it. Just my advice. I mean, we live here. We've been here for 13 years. We're fighting every day to try and, make our streets for all of us, our kids, and just for the future. Think about that. Your property value. Let's look at it as your property value. We've all lived here. We've got our properties are investment, and if we don't do something if we don't pay the 5%, our properties are probably going to drop from a much lower value. So I think we all need to just think about this, and let's try and get on board. Look, I have no idea how they're going to get the votes in time, but I feel that we should all get involved, ask them what's needed, take a street. We all live in different streets and areas. Take a street, go to your neighbors, help to get the signatures and the people on board. You've got WhatsApp groups on your roads. Look, we will be putting it out on our Musgrave crime groups and our community groups and stuff. But we've got to get this. We've got to get this rolling. It's really, it's now or never. We've got to really do it now, or the areas are going to deteriorate, and we're going to keep just dealing with what we do.
Thank you, Ken. I think it's very important, what you've just said. Before the next speaker comes on, it's almost 20 past right now. I know we started a bit late. I want to explain something before we move on. We have a few people who will be helping us, and if you want any questions answered about the other UIPs as well, please send them to us. We've got email addresses, and we will address it. We cannot answer every single question in here, but I think we've got the answer for what you're unsure of. The amount of each of, yeah, that's all. So what happens is that we, based on the budget that we prepare, we determine exactly how much of levies we need to collect. At this stage, we've got several budgets. The one budget, we call it a high road budget. Okay? We want to try and target 12 million rands so that we can have expenditure of 10 million rands for all that we spoke about. However, we want to make it equitable, fair to everyone contributing towards this whole process. Your businesses are contributing the most amount right now because a single person's levy compared to a resident's levy compared to a business is there's a threefold difference. So if you're paying 1,000 rands, the business is paying 3,000 rands. What we are recommending is that in the special levy, we would want the businesses to pay even more, and we want to give some benefits to residents who are. There's a large number of people who are retired people and who have financial constraints. What we want to do is to try and help this whole process. We don't have approval yet, but we are going to recommend to Executive that for all properties that are valued at 2.5 million or less, we will cap the levy. We're recommending 30 rands per month. For businesses, 300 per month. That comes to less than 3%, or maybe 2%. So I think we're here to try and make it easy for everyone concerned. You are the community. Let's work together. So I just want to make that point clear. Questions?
That's a question.
Yeah, Karen.
Hello, my name is Virginia. We live in a retirement complex. Now, every unit has got a different value. So can you explain to us if there's some units under 2 million, they will pay the 30 rand a month. So does each unit pay its own levy, or does the whole complex pay?
Are you a share block or section title? Section title.
Section five.
Yeah, so section title, you will be paying your own levy. So whatever the levy comes out to, that's the amount that you'll be paying. So right now, we are proposing what the levy should be. Each Queenie has the final rights in determining what it should be. They might just apply a straight 10% or 5% or 4%, whatever the case may be. But in the process going forward, we will recommend to them, this is exactly what we need to charge because it falls within our budgets.
So can you remind me, how many people in the complex must agree to this?
Okay, so if you're in a complex, you need more than 50% of the members there to approve the process going forward. You tell the chairman, yes, we've got the sign a round robin resolution. You got our go ahead with it. The chairman will give us one signature. That's what we require. Okay. So can I stop the questions right now? We have our email address. We'd like you to send your details or your questions to us, and we will make every attempt to answer it in good time. I think what we want to do right now is to explain how we're going to go and achieve our 50% and 66%.
So I just want to go back to the 2 questions. So yes, the lady in the back there, it's one earth, one vote. Okay. How will the ward councillors work with UIP? So the UIP is and always will be apolitical. Okay, and the UIP will continue no matter what ward party comes into the area. And they will work parallel with each other. So I hope that answers the question. But how will the ward councillor be involved with the UIP? And then the architect. I think you raised a valid question. So I think it's important to know, because a few questions have come through and a lot about the funds. The 4 people that have initiated this process, let me just give you a background. Ajit Rilal is a retired Group Financial Director for a big organization in South Africa. He's retired now, but he's loving this new job. Okay? Then we've got, so Ajit handles our governance, legal, and everything like that. He just works like that. Then we've got Bradley Slewby. He's actually a pastor by trade. He's got his own business, and the vice chairman of CPF, and he also works a lot in the Sydenham area for the kids and gets the sports off the ground. Then you've got Lisa, she's the face of operations. We just let her out in the field and she does her thing. Then you've got Kieran. This young guy's 22 years old. He's next level. He's a proper Gen Z, and he's the creator and founder of City Members SA. You're going to see him more often via the apps and the surveys we've done. Then we've got Professor Jay Reddy. He sits quietly in our meetings, and then when he speaks, everything just falls into place. It's just next level. Thanks, God. Then we've got Mike Sands. He's creative. He's actually a jewelry designer. Okay, so he comes with a whole other level of creativity. And then you've got me. I've been in real estate for 15 years. I've seen our properties that dropped in the area. I'm actually originally born and bred from the Bluff. But my function is just to make sure that they do their jobs. That's it. Okay, so we're going to get on to architect. Now you know the caliber of people you have.
Yeah, I think our task, the next task now is to try and get this, the number of votes, the assets. So for us to get to the assets, we just need to know whether this body here and those who are online on YouTube support the process. Because there's so many of you here, we're not going to conduct a ballot form. Can you, by a show of hands, approve this process? If you stand up and have a look, I mean, can I say it's almost unanimous? Well done, guys. Thank you. Yeah, I think, can we put our hands up again just for evidence? We need to give it to Ethic Ready. Thank you. Yes. Okay, and I think we have to ask for objections, as Professor Meyer. Are there any objections? Okay, there's one objection. Okay, we'll record the one objection.
You want to hear what?
We can hear it.
Okay. I'm not shocked. Hi, my name is Dina Coleman, and I'm not at all sure what this is all about, except you're going to ask us all to pay more. We're all paying rates, but now there's going to be an extra, a levy. So the rates are supposed to cover most of these things that you're doing or hoping to do. The other UIPs that have been formulated and going on for several months, do they have this marvelous utopia of a neighborhood? No vagrants, no problems? So I mean, I'm not entirely sure why I would want to give you money. I don't believe that going through the municipality is going to help because they haven't done the work in the beginning. That's why you are dreaming up this idea. But all I can see is well-meaning, well-educated, well-thought of people dreaming up another little scheme to ask us all for money.
Isn't that how the world revolves? Just to answer your question, do you stay in the area?
Yes. I live in Orkney Gardens. I'm not probably just out of that little demarcated area.
Then you don't have to pay rent. But just I'm going to encourage you, take a drive to Beckwood, get out your car and take a walk around Bulwer Park. It's amazing. Thank you.
Okay.
Chair, since we're taking more objections.
I think we're running out of time, so I'm not quite sure whether you want. Sorry, are there more objections? No. Oh, do you want to say something?
There's a hand there for objection. Coming to you more.
Oh, okay.
Thanks very much. So it's not necessarily an objection, I'm probably still sitting on the fence. And whilst I am 100% in support of residents taking back ownership of their neighbourhoods and towns, I think there are many other ways in which to do it. But I think what concerns me is the area that's been chosen is not a homogeneous neighbourhood, and UIPs with a mix are not always the easiest to manage and to process. So there are a number of incredibly high impact areas that are having a huge impact on this broader community. DUT and studentification of the lower parts of the Berea, and a number of property owners who are resident in this big square who are actively turning their properties into student homes. And unfortunately, students bring a temporal mindset with them when they come. They're not resident on a long-term basis. So they just have a very different mindset. I'm not against students, but there are property owners that are not in this room who've got a very different idea of what this Berea needs to look like. And so, unfortunately, the mechanism that is the UIP is very much focused on public realm and augmenting services that are supposed to be provided by the municipality. And the lady in my corridor is absolutely right. They enter into a service level agreement of a particular standard, and then if you want to up that standard, you obviously look at those additional rates. And we are all augmenting medical, we're augmenting security, we're augmenting electricity, we're augmenting water. Every household that's living in this area is augmenting an enormous amount over and above what they are already paying. So I think don't be trapped when people raise those particular issues. But yeah, have you thought of alternatives? So Morningside's got On the Verge, which is a voluntary organisation that's not necessarily mandated in lines of the SRA policy, because to get 67% is going to be an incredibly tall order with a very divided and very dispersed grouping of residents, businesses, and the type of nature of business that are moving into the area. So I'm not entirely sure you're going to get a UIP under this particular act. You might have to actually go back to the books and look at something else. On the fence, I'm not voting. I've got to go back to a body corporate and get a body corporate surgery. So, yeah.
Thank you. It's actually very valid. I've got a ton of objections myself, but thank you. Just on that, I work on an 80-20 principle that if we can get 80% right, we can work on the 20. So I don't know if that may help. Can we get, I'll let Ajit carry on with the ballot.
Yeah. Guys, it's just past 1:30, and I don't want to hold all the people up because I don't want to get into a debate. It's a process that we've started, and we've got to follow this process. Every single question that you have, every concern that you have the opportunity. There is an email. We will put the email up again, and please send us your questions and we will try and answer them. I don't think this is a place where we want to solve the problem. We want to answer the questions of the process that we have followed. It's a proper body that we are going to be forming, an NPC. They'll have a proper structure. They'll have a board of directors. Those board of directors will have people who are going to run this in terms of a specific set of rules. Rules that are governed by the City of Durban in terms of an act. And that act came about from the Constitution that we have. So there is a process. It's not something that we're going to try. I don't think we're in that game. So you want to say a few words?
Yes, thanks. Just a quick one. My name is Salim Abdul Karim, and I've been living in this area for about 30 odd years, just shortly after it opened up to all races. And I've seen how some of the changes have been occurring in both directions. Things have been getting worse. I've been watching some of Glenwood's changes getting better. So I think, for me, one of the most important things about our ability is that when we take charge, when we as a people, don't sit back and wait for someone else to fix our problems, but we take the initiative, we show we're willing to do things, to make things happen, that's when society really moves forward. And there'll never be an occasion where everyone agrees. In fact, when everybody agrees with something, be white. It's better when there are people with multiple opinions. That way, what you're getting is a live discussion, and things are not just being glossed over, but people have to genuinely account. And that's what we want. We want that kind of organization that will make a difference in this area. And I'd like to say that I'd like to put my money where my mouth is. And I'm pledging right now to give you 50,000 rands as starting capital to get those 67% votes.
That's fantastic. Thank you very much. We really appreciate it. I know there's lots of hands still going up right now, but I just need to get to this next phase. What I mentioned earlier on, we've got 1,200 people to reach to try and get an assent form signed. That form is a prescribed form by the city of Durban. It says, I, so-and-so, house number, this property address, approve this process, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I sign and I give it to you. Please proceed with it. We need 66 plus 1% of those. How do we do it? 1,200 and the number of people in here? Yes, we can. What I'm suggesting is that if we can get 100 volunteers for a 2-week period, you give us your name and your details when you go out here. We will contact you and tell you exactly how you can do this in a period of 2 weeks. If we achieve it in 2 weeks, we can submit the rest of the pack, which will be properly checked out, etc. And I think we can achieve our objectives. This process will start on the 1st of July 2026. If we don't get it, we've got a whole year to do this whole process again, and we can start on the 1st of July 2027. So the first step now is I'm calling on all of you who can just give us 2 weeks of your time, probably 2 to 3 hours, and all you're going to do is just speak to your neighbors. There's the form, this is what we have. Think about it if you haven't heard this thing. This whole thing has been recorded on YouTube. It's available to hear again. If there's any questions, we'll write the answers and we'll post it up as well. Let's try and do it. Let's try and do it together. We have to work as a community. You see here, just 4 people who started off on the 5th or in November, in May. And this is how far we've come. You can take us to the next level. That's my deal to you. Are you done?
You know, it's,
I always practice things. It's my wife.
anyway,
He's emotional because I think he started this process. He was the first person to come to all of us and say, "Give us your time." And he never believed that it would be done in this short space of time. So I think that's what we're doing.
okay. So as we come to the close of tonight's meeting, I want to bring it back to the heart of what this is about. I heard this the other day, so I'm going to use it. There is no one coming over the hill to save us. The difference between where we are and where we want to be depends on the people sitting right here and online. We have more than an idea, we have a plan, a team, a great team, and a community ready to act. Now we need your support, your voice, your participation, and your energy to take this forward. Talk to your neighbours, encourage them to be part of this movement. Because when we work together, real change happens. We've each been given something special here. A place, a community, a legacy. Our calling now is to preserve it, protect it, and pass it forward stronger than we found it. This is how Musgrave and Essenwood become what they were meant to be. Our community in motion, safe, keen and green.
If I could just add, maybe we have the gentleman from the city to say a few words. I think he would like to comment on exactly what process is seen here. And after that, we will close because I think there's a lot of people who have dedicated time. We said 1 hour, we ran a bit late. Apologies for that. But before you go, there'll be a desk here for volunteers. Just give us your name and details. It'll take you 30 seconds to give us those details, and we'll tell you exactly what to do. The next step to get the 66% and the 50%. So thank you from us, and the last word to you.
Thank you so much. I won't keep you long. I think for me, what I would like to do is just two things. I think the first one is around, the city of Cape Town, we always say it's so clean, and especially the city and surrounding areas. And the secret there is just the very thing we're discussing at UIP. We've got a UIP end to end. So you guys are part of something that's quite special because Sidomi Doshe, who's my senior manager, as a city, we would like to have more of these UIPs around the city because we believe that the city deserves better and it's the vehicle that we want to use. And then lastly, I'd like to just say that what this process ensures, it ensures sustainability. So if we can jump on board like you guys have tonight, I think the future looks bright. Thank you very much.
Thanks everyone, meeting's closed. If you can go through and volunteer, thank you.
Someone else. I'll get another one there. Okay, we'll talk. But okay, nice meeting you. Thanks so much for that. Very well. On the YouTube. Okay, there were I think 100 people on here. Yeah, so here you can see the polls. Everyone voted 100%.
Wow.
Yeah, so there was 100 people.
100%?
I mean, yeah, well, 100% said yes. It's right
Online worked out, everything was fine.
Next we go. Great question the way
No, I haven't.
Just state it again.
Yeah. On my laptop. and my brother. Everything to them is perfect. We don't break it. But I mean, it's not
But it'll pick it up. Lisa maybe. What is it?
Take them away. I hope you can read it.